Okay, so let me start sharing the screen. Okay, can you see this?
Yes.
Okay, so the Spiritist Center behind the scenes, the idea of this presentation is for us to study what happens with in the physical dimension, what happens to a place that is getting prepared for mediumistic meetings, for spiritual type of work and such, and also what happens the uh, to the other dimension, to the spiritual dimension. Okay, so please, Maria. We are going. Please, Maria, say the prayer first. I so I was yeah. So okay. So let's close our eyes first. Our prayer. Let's close our eyes. Relax. Invite the good spirits to be here with us and kind of guide us towards this study. So, Lord Jesus, you know our intentions, you know everything that is going on in our hearts, and you know how eager we are to learn and follow the path of love, the path of light. So, please help us to grasp the spirit teachings today and stay with us. Same way, please keep under your protection the prayer list that we have over here together with us, and also keep under protection all the other ones that we keep in our mind, or the ones that are crossing our minds at this moment. Stay with us, Lord, stay with us, higher spirits, and today and always. And so be it. Okay. So, yeah. No, it didn't change. Maybe the next. Or maybe with the mouse. Just click the mouse. Yeah, there you go. So this study is based on this book. This book has not been translated yet, but the translation of the title is In the Field of Love. And the author is this medium. His name is Luis Antonio Ferraz, and the spirit is Antonio Carlos Tonini. So what this book is about, the author, or the spiritual author, he is explaining, or he is describing one of his lessons, one of the lessons that he was taught as he was in training in the spiritual realm. Okay, so this guy Mozart Couto, he did a wonderful job describing the mission in pictures. And that's what we are going to see in this presentation. The pictures showing the scenes as the story unfold, then we can see the representation in pictures. Yeah, please, Maria. All right, so the first picture is telling us this mission. We see the spiritual author, Antonio Carlos Tonini, being guided by his spiritual guide. That is this guy with darker blazer or, jacket. And so, as you can see, they are kind of flying over this building. And the building that we are going to visit is the Spiritist Center. And the reason why they are doing that is because the spiritual guide for Tonini, he wants to show Tonini what happens during the time that the Spiritist Center is getting prepared for the spiritual works, and what works from the physical plane and also from the perspective of the spiritual plane. Please, Maria. Yes. So look, the work has not started yet in the Spiritist Center. We do not have a whole lot of people. As you can see at the very corner over here, the light on the right, on the right corner, we see this guy, putting some flowers on the table. This guy is incarnated. But then you see other people in the room, and the other people, they are spirits. And they are there also preparing the place. You see some folks checking on the chairs, and you see the Tonini guy, the spiritual author for this book. And Tonini is being introduced to Joel. Joel is the one in charge of, or the head of, the Spiritist Center from the perspective of the spiritual realm. Okay? So Joel is a spirit, and so as Marcos is a spirit. Everybody there is a spirit, and their role is similar to the role of the incarnated ones. So we have like a team working on the physical plane, kind of preparing everything, preparing the study that they are going to hold. But also we have the same team or similar team on the spiritual plane, and they do the same thing. They prepare the place, they look at the energy, they make sure that everything is safe, is kind of it contains all the elements they will need to for the meeting that is going to happen. Please, Leda, go ahead.
I was about to say that also the mediums are prepared long before, not only the place, but the mediums that are going to work. They are prepared long before the actual meeting. So they have their thoughts, their psychosphere cleaned, so they don't get all the bad energies, that they are protected against the heavy energies of the spirits that will be manifesting through them, will be channeling. And so that's why it's important in that day that you don't eat very high, don't take alcohol, uh, you should not have sex on that day. You should try to be as light as possible on that day, to make it easier for you to receive all that protection, all that preparation, for you to be safer during the exercise of mediumship.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Leda. So as you can tell, so there is this reception by the spiritual director from the spiritual team, and Marcos will be the guy showing Tonini, the spiritual author, all the places, all the rooms in the Spiritist Center. Yeah, please, Tanya. Yeah, go ahead. Okay. So in the next picture, then we see the meeting also happening from on the other side. So we see the spiritual workers or the volunteers um, getting prepared and arriving, getting together, because the physical doors of the Spiritist centers, they are going to open. And the same way we have the volunteers, working on the Spiritist center, doing the cleaning, doing the studies, preparing the chairs, preparing all the tools, the books, the readings that they are going to do. Same way, we have volunteers, workers on the physical plane. So in this case, we are seeing Joel kind of receiving or just waiting for all the volunteers to show up. So in the next slide, Marcos is showing Tonini how, because at this point Tonini was saying, well, I saw some people on the other side, outside of the Spiritist Center. I saw some people coming, and I saw some spirits as well. So how do you make sure that the place is protected? Same way that we did last night, for example, when we were getting ready for our Mediumistic meeting that we held last night. So we said some prayers. We and even before this gathering here start, Maria, myself, Josie, Luis, Leda, everybody, we were kind of saying prayers and asking for protection, asking to the spirits to protect this place. Same way happens to the Spiritist Center, even more specifically in the case of the Spiritist Center, because that place functions as, a place for the spirits to help the incarnated ones and vice versa. So there is a very there is this very long and serious agenda or schedule, lots of work to do, to be done, and you don't want you don't want anything to happen. You want to follow that agenda. You want that agenda to be done. So what happens is they say prayers, and they ask protection, and as soon as they do that, then those like Marcos is showing, these guys, they are spirits responsible for the safety of the environment of that Spiritist Center. Same way that happened here at the house, as we were getting ready for this gathering, as we were getting ready for the Mediumistic meeting that we held last night. So we were asking for protection, and for a sure thing, the spirits, the protectors, they showed up. So they kind of build up this magnetic field around the area, so you can then perform your work in a safe way. So in this picture, sorry, this picture is kind of out of focus, but the picture is actually showing workers, spiritual workers, and we can see that they are holding these jars, and seems like the jars, they are full of something. Well, when you go to the Spiritist Center, and we did this here last night in our Mediumistic meeting, so we had cups of water in front of each other, and we asked the spirit to bless that water. And what happens is the spirits, they magnetize or they energize that water. They blast the water, and the water then becomes full of elements, full of fluids that eventually will help us, will treat us in whatever we need, might be emotional, might be physical, but that water will act as a medicine to us. However, remember, as so above, as above, so below. So we have the same preparation happening in the spiritual realm. So what we are doing here in the physical plane is actually a repetition, a replica of what happened in the spiritual realm. So over here we see the medical staff getting ready for the day's work, for the day, the work that is gonna be performed. So we see these two jars with those resources, and the resources, they are collected from nature. So, like I was telling Gloria the other day, that the her herbs that I have here in my backyard, I know that sometimes the spirits, they collect, the resources from those plants to heal somebody, to do whatever work, for the benefit of someone in need. And that's exactly what this picture is trying to portray, is trying to show, that those resources will be used in the work that they are going to perform. In this other picture, so Marcus is showing Tonini some tools that the spirits they use. And remember, what we are looking here is a description of what the medium saw, and sometimes what the medium is looking at, the medium doesn't know all that technology, and what the medium tried to do in very, the best way that he or she can, try to describe the tool according to the technology that we know. But remember, most of the time we are trying to describe a technology that doesn't exist on Earth yet. So we do not know exactly what all these tools are about, but we know that they are used to keep the environment safe, to keep the environment clean, to remove some what we call miasmas. Miasmas, or they are a creation of, okay, give me a break. They are a creation of our thoughts. So if we are not holding good thoughts, if our thoughts are not very nice, or if we are just thinking about regret, revenge, sadness, then we are creating those what we call miasmas. It's like energy that just stick into the walls, stick into the furniture, stick into the place. And as those materials, they build up in the place, they are not so good because they are reverberating not so good energy. So what those tools and those spirits try to do, they try to cleanse the 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 space, the area, so we can perform the meeting, and that meeting will happen the best way, in the best, in very clean and nice environment. On the back of that wall, we see somebody try, working on this screen. The screen, sometimes some mediums, they can see that screen in the physical plane, but that is all spiritual tools, okay? So
Hi, little bud. Look at this little puffin. Look at this little muffin person.
huh?
Look at this little muffin person.
A muffin person.
Giles, you need to mute.
Okay, so so we see the screen on the back, and the spirits that will use that monitor is actually a monitor, because you will see later that some it's like the TV that we are looking at like right now, you know, though that monitor will show, will try to represent stories or represent the message that those spiritual or the workers and incarnated workers will talk about. Linda, I think you had your hand raised. No.
Yeah, we know that in the spiritual world, their technology is much more advanced than ours. So in this book by André Luiz, in the domain of mediumship, they start the book with one of these devices, which he calls a psychoscope, and it's used to check what's the group's potential, what can the group do together. So they put the psychoscope and they look to every person's skills. So they know what Anna can do, what Gloria can do, what Maria can do, what Josie, what Debbie can do, and they see what they can do together as a group. So they analyze with the psychoscope, because they tell you what are the skills that this medium has and how they can use it together. So there is a plan for each and every group. There is a plan from the spiritual world.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Leda. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yes, thank you. So now we are looking at the same building from the outside. What's going on? As soon as we open the physical door of the building, we can see a lot of people are capable of coming in. So we see the incarnated people going to the Spiritist Center. And we also see a lot of spirits, and some of them, they are like in awe, you know, because they see all the light coming from the building. Remember, this light is coming from the protectors, the spiritual protectors of the building, of this area. And sometimes the spirits, they're so confused. When they see that light, they believe that they arrived in heavens, and then they said, okay, I see God because I see this light. So they are confused. Others, they are there because they follow the incarnated ones. But as soon as the incarnated guy or woman or man get into the building, and the building, remember, is a protected place, then the spirit following that person can no longer get in, because it's kind of the vibration. It cannot stand the high frequency, the high vibration that is being held in that building. So the spiritual being just stay outside waiting for the incarnated guy to come back. If that person doesn't change his or her thoughts, his or her understanding, behavior, you know, state of mind, I don't know, you name it. If that person does not modify himself, that's not, how can I say, is not willing to promote this inner transformation, then that person will come out of that building same way as it got into the building. So, and then as soon as that guy come out, then the spiritual being will get attached to the person and will follow the person again. But for that time being, the middle of while that person is there in the Spiritist Center, in this case in the mediumistic meeting or study, whatever, doing some good, some work, beneficial work, then that person is protected, and then that's why you feel so good. In this case, we are talking about Spiritist Center, but so many people say, "Oh, I went to that temple, a Buddhist temple, a church, yeah, or a Buddhist a temple, whatever." And I felt so good. I felt, like in peace. It was so nice. Well, that's why, because those buildings, they are full of this protection, and also they are full of those good vibrations that time after time, today they have somebody praying, tomorrow there will be more groups praying. All this good energy will also impregnate the area with this good energy. So, for the same reason, we see the same thing over here in the Spiritist Center. So the book said, and you can also see several spirits with the perispirit with different tonalities. We see some of them, they have this dark energy. The others, they are not, they are more clear, just to show those spirits that are here in the crust and cannot rise yet, because they just don't see how. They are too attached to their condition. They do not realize that the position they are, or the condition they are, is so uncomfortable, and there's a way to get away from this, but they just don't follow. Therefore, as they face this very bright light, this building is offering, so many of them get confused, and they believe they're just at the heaven's door, but evidently they're just confused. Please, Maria. And so in this picture over here, we see two situations. Before we do the Spiritist the study, or the public meeting in the Spiritist Center, we do some harmonization. And in the Spiritist Center here in Houston, what they do, they put some very nice music, calm, just to as people are arriving. Then we have some kind of, what the word is saying, harmonization. We are trying to calm down, everybody's mind, make sure that everybody is in tune with the peace that the place is kind of, inspiring us. And then we see in the public meeting, in the main room of the Spiritist Center, we see the workers. Sometimes the head of the Spiritist Center is just, opening the meeting, and we see two spirits behind that guy. One of them is the spiritual guide of the director, and the other one is the protector of that Spiritist Center, is the protector of this project. So the spiritual guide is trying to inspire the guy that is gonna talk, is gonna deliver the message, and the head of the project, or the protector of the project, is also providing his protection, providing, his energy, so everybody will benefit from it. So the speaker is already talking about the message that the day before he was preparing to deliver. So he did prepare himself in advance. He selected some parts from, I guess in this case he was talking about, if I remember correctly, he selected a part of the gospel according to Spiritism, and then he's talking about some stories, Jesus stories, and look that his guide is mentally connected to the speaker. And what's going on is we know perispirit, the communication is happening perispirit to perispirit, perispirit of the spiritual being to the perispirit of the incarnated. And the guide is kind of inspiring the speaker. What he's doing actually, the speaker is prepared. The speaker knows the story, the message he wants to deliver, but what the guide is doing, he's kind of activating his memory, but not only the memory of this life, but also activating some memory from his past experience, his past knowledge. So he delivered that message the best way, in more efficient way. So this is what's going on in this picture. And the following one is very interesting because now we see what's going on with the audience. So in the first picture over here, we see this lady. The day before, she just had a very bad discussion with her mother. And as she is listening to the speaker, then she's backchecking her behavior, her attitudes towards her mother. And now she's kind of rethinking, that's the way that she will start her inner transformation, as she's paying attention to the message, as she's paying attention to the speaker. Now she's kind of making some associations to the discussion that she had with her mother, and then go, well, maybe I should not do this and that. So that's how it happens. Now, on the other hand, the same room, we have this other lady, and Marcus is showing Tonini what's going on with that lady. In front of the chest, of her chest, we can see this dark fog type in front of her chest, and then Marcus is showing that the lady is not really paying attention to the speaker because she's still holding those negative thoughts you can see around her head. It's kind of dark fog, and then that energy is accumulating in her chest, like it's causing her to get sick. But remember, every disease, first our perispirit will hold all this negativity, and eventually all of that will reflect in our body. So she's not paying attention to the speaker. Her mind is still in a loop, like thinking about revenge or angry, frustration. And despite the fact that she is in a place that can help her, but she's not allowing this to happen because she's not connected to that kind of energy. Now, on the third picture, on this one, on the very bottom, on the left, there is this guy that is sleeping. And then Tonini is asking, in the book, Tonini is asking, okay, so what about this guy? Okay. So the Tonini was asking to Marcus, okay, what about that guy? I see this guy is sleeping. And we can see this like a little, yeah, it's an energy, and we can see this little line, or and this is going out. So Marcus is explaining to Tonini that actually this is one of the examples when the person is being followed by another spirit, and the connection between this person and this other spirit is so strong that as soon as he gets in, then he will fall asleep and his soul will reunite with the spirit that is outside of the building, could not get into the building. So it's an example of oxidized. I do not even know if the translation is correct, but it's the one of the examples of a person that is oxidized, meaning is being followed by a spirit. So for example, someone that is addicted to alcohol. This is very common. So the person will be there, will go to the public meeting, will be in a work, will be, doing everything. But then as soon as the person, the body is there, but the soul, that soul is not ready yet for that transformation. So the guy will fall asleep and then the soul will just escape and get connected to the spirit that is being united to him or following him. On the last picture, then we see a businessman and Tonini, and it's funny because not funny but interesting because Marcos is showing Tonini and how to and is explaining to Tonini how to see those mental images, because the same way that we can see in this picture, that's how you can see, or the spirits can see how we think or how the other person is thinking. So we see, for example, so Tonini is Marcus is explaining to Tonini, this businessman, his body is in the room, but then his mind is elsewhere. He's concerned about his business. He's concerned about this contract he's going to sign the day tomorrow, and then he's not really paying attention to the message that is being delivered. So he's losing his opportunity to learn something. Now, remember that we talk about this monitor that the spirits they were preparing. As the speaker is
Anna,
yeah, sorry.
before
I didn't see.
you
Yeah, go back on the other slide.
yeah, because these behaviors that you were talking about, they are bad not only when you are in a public study, but also when you are in a circle and you sit in a circle.
Yeah, very well
You-
said.
This will prevent you from being in tune, in contact with the higher spirits. So if you have negative thoughts, if you have lack of focus, if you are not praying, not thinking about the message and keeping your mind clear, then it's going to be harder or even impossible for the spirits to give you the communication they want to give in the
Exactly.
circle.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah, very well said. Yeah, good point, Lida, because this is happening to a public meeting, but exactly the same might happen to a mediumistic meeting. As a matter of fact, that's why one of the reasons why Jesus said, pray and watch. Watch what? Your enemy? No, your thoughts, your behavior, right? Whatever thoughts you were holding in your mind or keeping in your mind. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So this other picture over here showing the monitor, and the monitor is showing actually is representing this story of Jesus talking to the people around him. Is Jesus delivering his message of love, and if I'm not mistaken, in the book the speaker choose the the occasion when Jesus was talking to many people, and then there was it was time for them to eat, and then they shared, the little food that they had, fish and bread. So the monitor is showing that same occasion, and this is not a mental image. This is the that image. So we can see I mean, this is the exact image that happened at that time. It's like everything was filmed, was videotaped, if you will, and then we can see the movie. The spirits, they have this ability to do that, to like go back in time and show to us what happened as it was filmed. And we can see on the back of the spirit, on the back of the communicator, the speaker, the spirit, his guide is still there, like, continue to offer all the protection, inspiring him. We can see also on the side several spirits helping to sustain that energy, to sustain the high vibration to in the place, in that area. We can see also this balcony on top of the main hall, on top of the chairs. We can see a balcony and lots and lots, several spirits on that balcony. Well, that monitor is there to help those spirits, to help those that are there, to listen to the speaker, but also to see that screen, to see that monitor. And what happens was, the guides of this Spiritist Center, or the guide of a group, or the head of a project, like our group, for example, when we do a prayer, when we say a prayer, then, or when we get together for a study, remember, we are not alone, we are not just us. I mean, there are others. Like many times we say, we can feel that we have others getting together with us. And as we speak, as we say, as we mention something, as we share some lessons or something that we learned, then those spirits, they will also learn from us. And sometimes they will realize, or they will be called to a different perspective that they could not grasp, that could not understand up to that point. And then we might be of instrument to do good. We might be doing something good for them, as we help them to awake to a different reality. In this case, they're showing that what's going on, that the message that the speaker is delivering is actually helping the spirits to show that monitor, and all of that together is touching those spirits' heart. And then they will have the opportunity to learn, to awake, to move to a different state. Those spirits, they are collected, or they are called, or they are invited by the spirits helping in this Spiritist Center. Same way will happen whenever we get together. So the spirits, our personal spiritual guides, if you will, or the head of our group, the ones responsible for our group, they will invite the spirits that will be with us and will share, or will listen, or will learn same way that we do. Okay. Okay, so go back, Maria. One. So so here saying the saint shows that there is a mezzanine or the balcony. This place is equipped with resources made with matter from the spiritual world. We are talking about the universal cosmic fluid. So the matter forming this balcony or the mezzanine is made of the universal cosmic fluid to receive exactly, I cannot read what it's about. To receive exactly, well, I do not know. To get the same message that is being shared with the incarnated ones. When the speaker makes some reference to Jesus of Nazareth, the image on the screen behind the facilitator comes before all the spirits. Is amazing. And as a matter of fact, yes. Can the audience down below see it too, or just the spirit audience? That's what I was about to say. As a matter of fact, I had the chance to see this once. So I do not know if you heard if you heard Gloria's message, but she was saying if the incarnated ones can see this monitor behind the speaker, and I was saying that I had a chance to see this once. And by the first time when I saw that, I didn't know what I was looking at. So I was kind of, what is this? Because I could see the balcony exactly the same way that is being represented in this picture. I saw the balcony and I saw way more spirits than just the ones, just the incarnated. And I saw the monitor behind the speaker, and it was overwhelming. It's not so common. This is not so. Yes, Carol. Carol. Yeah, you are on mute. You were on mute.
So everybody that was there saw this,
No,
not just you.
maybe not just me, because there was more than 1,000 people in that auditorium. But I was able to see. I do not know if everybody saw.
But I mean, was it a surprise to you? Or,
It was a surprise to me because I had no idea this happened. I
Yeah.
didn't know.
okay, well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
When everybody sees, it's called materialization, or is that correct,
that's right.
Anna?
That's right. Yeah.
That's a different kind of that's physical effect. But I believe what Anna said was not physical effect, was just her own mediumship.
Yeah, it was my. I don't say mediumship because I'm not a medium or sensitive medium, but it was the perception that I was. I don't know. Maybe I was allowed to see, because I remember what happened to me at that time. I was sitting in this chair, and like I said, it was huge auditorium. There were more than 1,000 people in the same auditorium. And then I felt like someone was pulling me from my back. I could feel something, kind of trying to pull me away from the body. And all of a sudden, when I look up, I saw the mezzanine. And when I look in front of me, I was, what is this? And it was beautiful. Yeah, I think it was single. Yes. Yes, yeah, I think so too. Yeah, somebody helped me, because yeah, I know that I was not capable of doing this by myself. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, so in the Spiritist Center, sorry about the out of focus type of picture, but in the Spiritist Center, we when we have parents going to the public meeting, sometimes those parents, they take the kids with them. And then the Spiritist centers, they are equipped with rooms for kids. So those ladies, those volunteers, they are there, kind of helping the kids, just keeping the kids while the parents are in the public meeting. But also they kind of try to pass some lessons to the kids about the spiritualism, about the spiritism, about the all this same thing that we are learning. It's just that is we try to pass in a way that they can understand. In the Spiritist Center, sometimes they ask me to be with the kids, and it's very hard. It's a very hard thing to do, because you cannot imagine how can you. Sometimes it's so hard to explain to adults all the things that we see, all the things that we study, and to translate that to kids like 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 10 years old is so hard, so difficult. It's not easy task. But what this picture is saying, and Marcus is showing, is that the same way that those volunteers, the incarnated volunteers, the same way that they are teaching the kids, there are also in the spiritual dimension, we can see some women getting together with the kids, a group of kids, and that lady sitting down with the kids. So that lady is teaching, talking to the kids about the condition of or the spiritual reality, spiritualism, and those two ladies, one of them is the guide for the other one, because the other one is going to incarnate, and she's going to be a mother. And the mission of that, in the book is saying, the mission of that lady is to help the kid on his journey towards evolution. So the guide is showing that woman that is about to incarnate and is going to be a mother. Okay, so this is how you should be doing. Look at the guy, the lady sitting down with the kids. Look how what kind of methods she's using, the type of pedagogical method she's using. So and also it's good for the women. For example, those ladies, when the book is saying, those ladies, when they did some abortion, abortion, right? Yeah, on purpose. So they try to explain to them, so to say, hey, this is like it's not natural, right? So all the women that, I do not know how to explain better, but it's kind of training her to be a mother, despite the fact that she had done abortion for a few times. Go ahead, Leda, please.
That's actually very important, Anna, because here we are used to not giving value to this very important task, which is being a mother or a father. But in the spiritual world, they give a lot of value to this task. It's a mission, really. And as important as it is our job, our paid job, it's not paid, but it's so important, because we're not parents by chance, by accident. Everything is planned before, years and years, sometimes hundreds of years in advance, so that we have all the correct environment, the correct people with us together in that house, in that home. So it is all very carefully established, and it's very important. So we go to school like we go to university. Here in the spiritual world, they have courses regarding motherhood and parenting. so this is very important. And another thing that I wanted to say is that when we incarnate, we don't remember anything. So it's like the computer when you reset it. So the first 7 years of a child, the spirits say that that's when you they are easier to get influenced. So you should try to put all the good things, all the because we are old spirits. So we are full of bad habits, full of pride, full of selfishness. And then when we have this reset, when we incarnate and we have this reset, is the right moment for the parents to try to establish new patterns, new behaviors, new
Exactly.
values.
Yes.
So that's why this work with the children in the spiritual center, in the it's very important, because they will start having new connections with the spiritual world at this moment, and they are very connected also with the spiritual world, because until the 7 years old, because after that they started regaining a little bit of their personality, of who they are, and they're more connected to the material world after 7. So until 7, it's the time where they will be renewed. Do
Exactly.
you understand?
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly what we mentioned before we got to the Zoom meeting. Yeah, we were talking about this. Maria recalled this that's exact point. Yeah, very nice. Thank you, Leda. So Maria, please. So this is really, really interesting, because remember when we put a few minutes ago we mentioned about the prayer list, and when we go to the Spiritist Center, so they have this book when where we can write down the name of the family member or whoever needs our prayer, and we write down those names. And what the guy, the spirit is doing is using this tool that actually kind of measures the level of energy that is it goes with the name. What that tool is actually saying or giving us is the information about the intention of the person as the name was included in that list. If you did, if you have very good intentions, and if you really said your prayer sincerely, keeping that person in mind, keeping that person in your heart. And again, it does not have to be like for hours. It might be like for 1 second, but that's all that you need to kind of impregnate that reference, because the name is just a reference to the person. You impregnate that reference with all your good intentions, with all your good energy. So that's what the spirits are saying. So they're saying in the vibration book or the prayer list, the people will write down the name and the address, asking for the help of the spirits. Okay. And then this device passes over the name, the energy of the request made by someone jumps on the screen, saying, okay, so now they can see, you know, how sincere our prayer, how sincere our request is. And that's why it's so important once we include a name to a prayer list, we really do this, with our mind, but also our heart, our intent, all of that together. And then our request will kind of show up, we kind of uh, I do not know how to say, but those spirits that will have better access to that name. Um, so okay, so yeah, keep going. Yeah, it's the Mhm. On this screen. This is the how do we say, this is the hands-on healing. This is the past. This is the hands-on healing. And remember, when we talk about the Paris spirit, we mentioned how this actually happens. So we have, if you look at the very back of the wall, we have the person, the incarnated one, receiving the pass or the hands-on healing energy. And then in front of them, we see what we call in Portuguese the passistas, or the volunteers doing the hands-on healing assistance. And behind them, we can see the spirits, the volunteers also, the spirits helping the passistas, or helping the incarnated volunteers to actually apply this hands-on healing. So we can see different situations here. And the first one, we see this guy with a tie and, very well dressed with his suit. And he is there receiving this hands-on healing treatment, but his mind, his heart is not there. His mind is well elsewhere. His mind is on his office. Meaning, yes, he is receiving this energy, he is receiving this treatment, but he's not getting the benefit from it. Because his mind is not there. It's not, it's like taking a medicine, but not getting the benefit from the medicine, because you just do not pay attention to it. And then there is another situation, that is the lady. The lady, she is so she believes in this kind of treatment. She's so much into it, that her soul is almost like projected. She's experiencing almost like an astral projection. And as she does that, now she can fully receive all the energy, the maximum energy she can get from this treatment. Because yes, the body is nice, but remember, the body works like a filter. So filter, actually, if she if the soul, or the soul of the incarnated person is projected, then that person will receive the whole energy that is being passed to her. And because her mind, her heart, she's fully aware of what's going on, and she's very serious about it. So she's extremely concentrated, and because of that, then she's receiving all the good energy, all the good, you know um, healing energy that she can receive. And then look at the last lady. She's pregnant, and as she's pregnant, she's also concentrated. And the thing is that energy will benefit her and the baby as well. So it's gonna be like a package. It's gonna be like a whole thing. um yeah, you have a question? We have a question here in the room. So, yeah, so, yeah. That's a good point, yes. So the question here is, if those volunteers, the incarnated volunteers applying the hands-on healing, if they need any kind of preparation, and the answer is yes, because even though anybody can do it, but the best way to do it, the best way to be of service, and the best way to make sure that this is going to be as efficient, as much efficient as possible, is for you to understand how this process happens, what you can do to actually act in a way that you will not block the energy from the spirits. What kind of state of mind you need to hold, what kind of concentration, meditation, what habits you have to hold to, for example, you cannot drink and then do this. You cannot eat red meat, a lot of red meat, and do this. You have to prepare your body, because this is about energy. You have to prepare your mind. You have to be in a good state of mind and health, physical health as well. You have to study. Yes. Yeah, yeah. You have to you have to understand. You have to prepare yourself. You have to study. It's not just, okay, I want to do this and just do it. It's not going to be as efficient as if you study, if you observe, the state of mind, if you observe your habits and your behavior. Okay, yeah, keep going. During the past, mixed of semi-spiritual magnetism is going on. And if you, like we were talking about this businessman, adverse behaviors and their consequence. So depending on where your mind is, you're having the benefit of it, like the lady, or not. The businessman, he's not gonna get any benefit because his mind is not there. So hands-on healing passes. I do not know if this is gonna play, but there is a short video that we try to, let's see if you can see this. What this guy is doing, he's doing a self hands-on healing. Look how the way that he's cleansing his own energy. I'm not gonna show the whole video because it's kind of long, but look what's going on as he prepares himself. Remember what Maria said yesterday? One hand is up, the other one is receiving, the other one is passing the energy. Look at his chakra, the crown chakra is open to the light or the energy from the higher beings, and then he can transfer to recipient or through the hands. And then she's already in meditation mode, and look what's going on to her aura. And evidently you can do this by yourself. This is the consequence. This is what happened to you when you meditate, right? So you activate your chakras, you activate all the, the good energy. I love doing this when we are like saying a prayer for the whole world. So you imagine the earth, and then you can transfer that energy to the whole planet. But look, the connection is right there, through the crown chakra. Yeah, you can do that. Just saying a prayer, you can do that. And look how strong the field around him, because you were the first one to get the benefit, right? So hands-on healing is, or passes, this is very serious thing, this is very how can I say, this works and is real, is very beneficial to the folks. So I'm not gonna pass the whole thing, but just continue on the presentation. So we are talking about the magnetic water, and I forgot how the way that we called the other day, blast water, I guess. Fluid water, fluidic water, or magnetized or blast, magnetized water, right? So look, so we have the water like the same way we did yesterday, last night. We put a cup of water in front of each one of us, and then the spirits, they come over and they do the hands-on healing on those water, on the water that we are going to drink. And the thing is, you may have 100 cups, but the one that you drink is the one that contains the energy, the fluids that are right to you, that was prepared to you. So let's see if there is anything else. I guess there is one more. You have to move the mouse to this. Yeah, now the mouse. If you can see the mouse. Okay, so yeah, so the magnetic water. So talking about the hands-on healing. So you observe the all these glasses full of water, and the spirits, they are, placing those resources and like a medication or something for the folks over there. The translation is terrible. Yeah. Go ahead.
Please, tomorrow they asked me about if you need to shut up the close or no.
Oh, close the cup?
Yes.
Or no, it doesn't matter. The only one,
A garrafa também. Pode ficar aberta ou fechada.
yeah, the bottle can be open, can be closed. The only one thing, and you can see some of them, they are closed, some of them, they are jars, others are bottle, others like a green bottle, others are clear. This is not really, we do not have a very good rule. As long as it's clear and the water is clean, it's fine. Is that is the intention? Yes. So on this one, that's the other service that is done on the Spiritist Center. It's called fraternal service. So, for example, sometimes we have here in Houston, we have after the public meeting, or sometimes during the public meeting, we have people requesting for to talk to someone. A private talking, exactly. Thank you. And then that person will. I mean, there will be someone to talk to that person in need. But that person, you can see, even though this guy is by himself in his room, but there are 3 other spirits. And those spirits, they are there helping this guy, but also those spirits, more than anything, will be there to help the person in need. So we can see 2 pictures over here. One is the guy that is there because he's not feeling well, he's sick, and he doesn't understand what's going on. He has been visiting some doctors, but he's still not feeling well because his disease is not only about the physical body, but also about his perispirit, about his soul. So those spirits over there, they are helping him doing the pass, doing this hands-on healing, kind of cleansing his aura or his perispirit. And then the guy in the book, the guy is telling him, keep going, keep doing what your doctor is telling you to do. Do not stop that treatment, but also try to hold better thoughts, read, do some good readings, read about this, read about that. The guy will recommend, some studies, some good readings, so he can elevate his vibration, elevate his frequency. And on the second picture, the one at the bottom, we can see this lady, and what's going on is this lady, for some reason, she's always feeling depressed. She cannot get over, she cannot get balanced in the terms of her feelings, her emotions. So because this guy, this spirit is following her in the book, they explain that they had a past life, and this guy was obsessed about her and is following her. So the spirits, they are kind of helping this guy. Actually, what is going on with her, she's just suffering the consequences of this connection. And then the spirits over there, they're helping this guy say, okay, so this is not such a good thing. She's uncomfortable, but you are also very uncomfortable. There is other way to handle this, so you can actually be in better condition, etc. So they will try to show him, they're more than what he's doing is not nice and is not going to help anybody, including him. So what else? And then on the last, I guess, I do not know if there's one more. No, next, yeah, one more. Yeah, just, no, okay. previous. So in this slide, then the meeting is over. It's time for everybody to go back to their houses. But look, all those guys that we saw in the mezzanine, all those guys that we saw in the balcony, the ones that woke up for this new reality, or they have the opportunity to now move to a better place, to the astral city, go to a hospital or something. So as the paragraph is saying here, at the end of the meeting, the spirits live in caravans or in groups. Some of the discarnated folks, they're taken to the spirit, I hate this word, colonies. They are taken to the spirit astral cities. Some rescue spirits go to meet the names of the book or vibration box to help the brothers in need. So what the book is saying is, yes, some of them will take the spirits in need and take them to astral cities, to hospital, whatever. Others, they will help those guys, those names that we put in our list, because the thing is, even though in the physical plane the work stopped, but from the spiritual perspective, the work never stopped. So those guys, then now is their turn to take those names, and now there will be one spirit designated to help that specific, each one of those guys on the list. Okay, and I think that's it. Leda, you have anything else?
No. I just, as you are having a circle tonight, I would just tell you to be very comfortable and try to be like a lake the surface of the lake, which is able to reflect the sky and the environment and the trees. So try to be calm and still to let it come to you. And I hope you have a wonderful time, really.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. I do not know if you heard, but we had this mediumistic meeting last night. It was a very nice gathering. Maria, she had the visit of her spiritual guide, and he delivered such a beautiful, beautiful message, very comforting message. Josie, she translated, and Maria, she recorded in her cell phone. So let's see how that recording, the quality of that recording, and then we'll see if we can make that recording available to everybody.
Oh,
And
that would be great.
yeah, and then tonight we're going to have the same thing. And the other thing is Gloria, Graça, she's here with us today as well, and myself, Mauricio. So we have kind of the same perception of what happened, and in a way we saw what this picture is showing. We saw, lots of spirits being taken away and being helped, and taken to other place. It was very nice.
Okay. It's great to see you together.
Okay, guys, so great to see you. We are going to stop here because it's time for a coffee break.
I believe Carol wants to talk.
Again.
Well, I just wanted to thank you, Anna, because that was a very interesting presentation you just gave. I really liked it.
Yeah, next time you come over, okay?
Yes, yes. When is the next time?
Okay, yeah, whenever. I do not know. We're yeah, let's stop sharing. I hope we have a next time somewhere next year sometime, very very soon. Okay. See you all.
Bye. See you.
Y'all be safe now.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
All righty.
Thank you, Linda. See you.
Love you
Bye
guys.
bye, Carol. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Love you.